Let me cut you off there. The rest of it saying pretty much the same thing. But how do we balance and this and that? We have to understand that the will of the Shaykh is not something that comes later. Do you understand what I'm saying with that? It's not something that comes later. When you consult, then the Shaykh says, and that is the will of the Shaykh. The will of the Shaykh is also something that has come before. You have a question, you have an issue, you know what the will of your Shaykh is on that. Now you're going to check your connection. If you don't know, your connection is very loose. Tighten that connection. If that connection is tightened, even when you're thinking about that problem, you understand what is the will of your Shaykh there. Maybe it's not too clear, but you understand generally what it is. And the will of the Shaykh is even before that, which means you have to be in sohbat, because the situation that you are in now, the question is linked to another situation and another question that has happened, and that is linked to another question, another situation that has happened. Maybe not to you, maybe to others, but it comes. Nothing comes out of just like that, the blue. So you're asking, should we use our intelligence and logical thinking? The answer is more complicated than that, because if you understand the will of your Shaykh already, that time when you listen to the sohbat, you're going to put intelligence and logical thinking and your experience, and you're going to put your emotions and everything, listening to that sohbat with your heart. It stays in your heart. Situation opens, you know how to behave. Maybe it's not so clear, but you generally you know. And when the Shaykh is there to wash you up, it's just to tweak a little bit. The main foundation there, you know what it is. For the murids of Sahib al-Saif, tell me when you do something wrong. And I say to you, this is wrong that you are doing. Tell me, how many of you are shocked you didn't know that it was wrong? Huh? How many of you completely, oh, I didn't know it was wrong? Or how many of you, when I say, don't you understand? Didn't you know? Isn't this wrong? You just bow down your head and say, yes, I know it's wrong. I should have known. That means you already know. But what is stopping you now from knowing? Shaitan. Because what is shaitan making you to do? To rush. To rush. Not to have any sabr. Just go ahead. Just do it. Not to think, not to reflect. Because the consultation with the Shaykh now, when you can speak by the tongue, of course. But how many of you, when you sit in front of Shaykh Effendi, how many of us, myself included, when to ask a question, we already know the answer. Because you're really looking, you're really hearing, you're really listening, we already know the answer. When we want to find the answer. And how many of us, when we've done something wrong, we go to his presence and we already know what the answer is to. So this is not balancing. This is not, logical thinking, no. This is like what we're talking about, Hajj and Ramadan. Everything is linked, everything is connected one to the other. Same thing to consultation with the Shaykh. Everything is connected one to another. Now, if there are normal everyday things that you need to consult, that is completely different now. But even those things now, you know what the Shaykh is going to be. What are you going to do now? You're going to try to think. Your connection is tight. You're listening to the sohbats. Or you have a situation. You sit and you think, where is your heart now going to fall heavily on? You're saying, Madad, where is your heart now going to fall heavily on? You think and you consider so many different angles and you say, I think I should do it, but I don't know. Let me consult. New style, murids, they pray istikhara. You can pray, I'm not going to stop you. It's like the person who says, I want to find the answers in the Quran. Go find the answers in the Quran. Can you read the Quran? You think reading the Quran is just alif, lam, mim, zalikal kitabula, that is just reading the Quran? All the answers from pre-eternity to post-eternity is in the Quran. Read now. That means what? You don't know how to read. So many, they pray istikhara. They don't know how to read the signs. And they make the wrong decision. You have a representative of the Prophet ﷺ there. You ask and you consult. Why can't they be clear? So many times also, if they are clear and they tell you, do this like this, because they know you are going to disobey. If they say do this like this, they place a direct order, command to you, and they know that you're going to disobey. When you disobey, you're going to get double smack. So they don't give it to you as an order. They say, as you like, do whatever you want. Sometimes they say, as you like, it's okay to do if you want. Because you intend to do something good. But if they give an order for you to do something good, you're going to get less blessings. Because you're just following an order. It is not coming from your heart. Completely, 100%. Just by yourself. So they don't want to prevent that blessing reaching to you too. So they say, inshallah, we keep it like that. But all of that is what? Keeping, if you have connection to the Shaykh. If you have connection to the Shaykh, you will understand. You will think, you will understand. So many of you, you're not thinking, you're not understanding, you're not watching. You're not understanding. That's why we say our Shaykh is our Qibla. Because we sit, we look, and we try to understand at that time. Because if you're not going to understand from his tongue what he says, when you put your ego there, you're not going to understand from his tongue. How are you going to understand from his heart? If you sit, you watch, you try to study, you understand, then that time will be easier. Because you can just show a sign, and we know exactly what it is. You're going to be quick. You're going to pick up. We are humans. We are weak. Yes, of course we are. You and me. But we are trying. We're not giving any excuse to ourselves. And that time is easier for rahmat now to reach to us. It's easier for forgiveness. The one who is stubborn, do you think forgiveness is going to reach to them? It's coming from the ego. You're still stubborn. Only the fire is going to remove that. May Allah forgive me, inshallah.
Ameen.
And bless you.
Ameen.
So, don't be stubborn. And watch yourself. Think as much as you can. If you cannot think and you're still stuck somewhere, then that time, speak to it, to your Shaykh. It depends on your connection, like I said. It depends on your station also. Some people, the Shaykh says, consult with me for everything. Some people, they consult, the Shaykh says, why are you consulting with me? Don't you know this already? You're supposed to know this already. Don't waste my time, because there are other things that I'm going to teach you. You understand? May Allah forgive me and bless you for the sake of our Shaykh. Al-Fatiha. Amen.